Welcome to the sixth part of our special series on depression. What do we do when the lady in black has already taken a seat in our lives? Today, we examine her through the lens of Carl Jung's analytical psychology. But take note, listening does not mean resigning oneself to the situation or romanticizing suffering. Listening means trying to understand the message that experience brings. FARO Therapy begins precisely there. It does not ask merely, how do we get rid of depression, but rather, what has it come to reveal? What part of life needs to be re-examined? What loss was never processed? What wound remains open? What authentic aspect of the person was left behind? The lady in black arrives when the soul can no longer be ignored, when the mask has exhausted the soul. One of the first questions FARO asks is, who have you had to pretend to be in order to receive love, acceptance, or recognition? Jung called this social mask the persona, the successful professional, the perfect mother, the strong one, the one who never cries, the good Samaritan who always helps, the one who never needs help and never says no. When the gap between the mask and one's true identity becomes too wide, suffering emerges. Psychic energy is consumed in maintaining a persona, and the soul begins to demand authenticity. Jung is the master of the unconscious and of the shadow. He observed that whatever we reject in ourselves does not simply disappear. It becomes the shadow, that part we wish to hide, yet which follows us everywhere.
Rage, pain, jealousy, fragility, emotional needs, desires, fears,
vulnerability. FARO Therapy invites the exploration of questions such as, what emotions do you not allow yourself to feel? What part of yourself are you trying to hide? What aspect of your story is still waiting to be heard? For what we deny often returns disguised as a symptom, causing suffering. Jung and complexes. Complexes are emotional cores that organize experiences around significant wounds, abandonment, rejection, humiliation, inferiority, or those related to the mother or father. Many depressed people do not react solely to the present. They also react to old, lingering wounds and to long-held, unexamined beliefs. Therapy helps to recognize these patterns and diminish their unconscious influence. Calderon de la Barca said that dreams are merely dreams, but for Jung, dreams are a privileged channel of communication from the unconscious. FARO may invite the client to record their dreams, not to divine their meaning or interpret them mechanically, but to discover recurring symbols, abandoned houses, lost children, animals, darkness, water, journeys, closed doors. Each symbol can become the starting point for a profound therapeutic conversation. Sometimes, a dream expresses what the conscious mind has not yet managed to acknowledge. Therapeutic writing. The FARO coach might suggest a simple exercise. Take a sheet of paper and write, Dear Depression, what are you trying to show me? Then, answer without censorship, correction, judgment, or any attempt to look good. Many people discover emotions for the first time that had been hidden for years. Others uncover needs they had never allowed themselves to acknowledge. Writing begins to transform vague suffering into awareness dialogue with the shadow. Since Jung, we have known that what we reject in ourselves does not disappear, it remains in the shadow. The FARO professional might ask, what emotions do you not allow yourself to feel? What parts of yourself do you try to hide? What needs did you learn to consider unacceptable? Depression often shields a vast amount of repressed pain. When that content finds words, it begins to lose some of its destructive power. Identifying the mask. A common exercise involves asking, who do you think you need to be in order to be accepted? Surprising answers emerge. I have to be strong. I have to be able to handle everything. I cannot fail. I cannot ask for help. I cannot let anyone down. Depression often arises when the cost of maintaining a mask becomes unbearable. Art and symbolization. Not all suffering can be expressed in words. That is why FARO may use drawing, painting, creative writing, collage, modeling, artistic expression, and dance. The goal is not to produce art. It is to allow the psyche to find a language, an open door, through which to express itself and emerge. Often, an image conveys more than an hour of rational explanation. Active imagination. Jung developed an extraordinary technique called active imagination. It involves consciously engaging in dialogue with inner images, with characters, emotions, symbols, and scenes that emerge spontaneously. For instance, a person might imagine the lady in black sitting across from them and ask, "Why have you come? What are you trying to show me? What do I need to learn?" What matters is not whether the answer is literally true. What matters is that the conversation allows unconscious content to emerge. Therapeutic tarot. Tarot is used as a projective tool based on symbols and archetypes. The images facilitate associations, memories, emotions, and narratives. A card can open up questions such as, what aspect of this image resembles your current situation? What resources appear here? What challenge are you avoiding looking at? The therapeutic value does not lie in the card itself, it lies in the reflection the card facilitates. Forgotten resources. Depression often hijacks one's attention, causing the person to see only loss. The beacon, FARO, asks, what strengths have helped you survive until now? Who supported you? What difficult moments have you managed to get through in the past? What capabilities remain present? This is not to deny the pain, but to remember that one's identity is far broader than one's current suffering. The ultimate goal. Jung did not seek to manufacture people who were happy all the time. He sought something far deeper, individuation, that is, the progressive process of becoming who we truly are. Depression can turn into a painful crisis, yet it can also transform into the beginning of an authentic encounter with oneself. For often, the true question is not how do I eliminate my suffering, but rather who am I called to be after passing through it? One of the great tragedies of our time is that many depressed people end up feeling defective. FARO offers a different perspective. A person is not a diagnosis, a disorder, or a label. They are a human being navigating a difficult experience. That is why the primary therapeutic intervention is often not a technique, but an authentic human presence, listening, offering companionship, allowing for tears and anger, and refraining from judgment, rushing, or minimization. Sometimes, healing begins when a person discovers they no longer need to carry alone the burden that was destroying them. Depression can conceal forgotten aspects of our history, our identity, and our soul. Listening to those messages can transform suffering into an opportunity for conscious growth. The lady in black does not arrive to stay forever. Yet, she rarely leaves before being heard. Perhaps the question isn't, how do I get rid of this experience? Perhaps the question is, what needs to transform my life so that she no longer has to appear this way? Because true recovery is not merely about alleviating symptoms, it is about reclaiming meaning, identity, dignity, and direction. FARO Insight. Depression does not always vanish when we stop suffering. Often, it begins to transform when we stop running from what needs to be acknowledged and understood, even if it is painful. FARO quote. What is deeply heard no longer needs to scream through suffering. Like, share, and comment on this video. Start integrating your shadow today. Visit the YouTube channel for more content. See you in the next video with more FARO therapies.